Alright guys, this is a 2019 BMW R1250 RT. One of the great things about this R1250 RT is the fixed fairing. So if you look down, I don't know if you can see it, but that suspension, I can see it move, and all it's doing, that BMW telelever suspension, is just adjusting to every little thing, every little imperfection of the road. And by not having the steering wheel, you know, attached to the front fairing, to the front frame, I mean, it's just an ultimately overall stable bike. So just cruising speed, it's just super stable, and you got the suspension just doing its thing. So that's one of the things I look for in a touring bike, is just wind buffeting, right? So this is definitely gonna help when you've got, you know, when you're traveling out in the open road and it's really windy. Your bike is just gonna handle that much better, you know, by not having to worry about, you know, the steering wheel having to compensate, you know, for that front fairing getting bounced around and you know, pushing the steering wheel ever so slightly. So I love that in the fixed fairing. I'm hoping that's what you call it, fixed fairing. But yeah, it's a really good thing to have when it comes to looking at a touring bike. And you know, most sports bikes, I believe, comes with the fixed fairing for that reason too. So, you know, has to do with handling, right? And that explains it. I mean, this is just a great handling bike. So there's actually a motorcyclist behind us splitting lanes, so we're gonna do it too then. Don't normally like to split lanes unless I absolutely have to. You just never know what cars are gonna do. They're not really looking for motorcyclists. They're not really looking at that side mirror in between these lanes. So just got to be careful. Certain states is, you know, splitting lanes or lane sharing, whatever you call it, is not allowed. But in California, lane sharing is allowed. So great for motorcycles motorcyclists that commute on a daily basis. They can really get in front of traffic, not have to worry about being stuck in traffic. And it's also good for just, I guess, the motor, the bike, the rider, you know, especially in a hot summer day. You definitely want to be moving. You don't want to be standing still, right? You want to get those air flowing through the radiator, air flowing through the motor, cooling the bike down, cooling the rider down, etc. So, but again, lane sharing is good to have. It's a convenience. But most accidents happen with cars just simply not seeing or not hearing the motorcyclist. So, and this is one of the ways that you can get yourself into trouble, is is when you have a car that's not, makes a sudden lane change and doesn't really know how to check their mirrors and look for motorcyclists and things like that. So anyways, I got a boxer motor. I'm going to use that boxer motor. Looks like there's a Harley rider behind us, so I just got to let him. Just nice to use that boxer motor, usable power. Really good. Harley's got a lot of torque, but I tell you, 105 pounds of torque on this boxer motor is more than enough. It's all pegged now. Woo. Cruise in. This nice smooth engine. We just smoked the Harley rider in the back. Nothing against Harley, but it's just a different type of motorcycle, this BMW. Sorry for the Harley riders. Didn't mean anything by that. It's just, I used to have a Harley. I love Harley. It's a great bike. But this BMW R1250 RT is so capable. Does so many things. Pretty impressive, actually. So here's a little demonstration on the quick shift. So if you needed to downshift a couple of gears, you don't need to use the clutch. Just slam on it down. But at the same time, if you want to use the clutch to downshift, you can too. So I mean, definitely, you still can do downshift, rep match, whatever. Upshift, same thing. So it's really versatile bike. And this is actually a really good all-around, you know, I want to say sport touring bike. And it's really like two bikes into one when you think about it, because it's sporty enough, you know, to have a nice spirited ride, sporty enough to hang out with some of those sport bikes, especially, you know, the middleweight sport bikes and what have you. It may not be as fast as the leader bike, but it can certainly hold its own, you know, with those 600s and the 750cc middleweights as far as power. Okay, and handling is superb. I mean, this BMW telelover suspension is awesome. And again, it's not a sport bike. You know, you're not going to keep up with a sport bike, and I don't care what kind of sport bike it is, what, you know, whether it's a 600cc or a 1000cc sport bike. It's, you know, but again, it's more than capable. And sometimes you have to kind of just sit back and think that, hey, this is not a sport bike, right? Because it's just so good, and it does so many things so well. But when you start pushing it to the limit, I mean, that suspension is a little bit on the soft side, and you really start feeling the weight. But for a nice spirited ride, you know, going on some twisties on the weekend, things like that, I mean, this bike is more than capable, more than I can ever take it to its limits. I mean, I'm not even close to taking this bike to its limits. It is just so nimble. It is so quick and powerful. And it's just a fun bike to ride. And as far as touring, you know, I've taken this bike on many miles, long road trips, weekend weekend-long road trips, and never once did I say that I'd rather be on any other bike but this. I mean, this bike is awesome. It is that good. I can see why law enforcement's highway patrol, you know, use this bike under duty. I mean, it's just so easy to get on and off of. It's so nimble, it's so maneuverable. It's just an overall awesome bike. Again, look at this thing, how it just lifts down, so maneuverable. I mean, you'll definitely be scraping pegs here, so, but yeah, it's an awesome bike.